Hello there, I'm Scotty. You're not. Uh, Welcome back to the Smallville Retrospective. We're on season 2, episode 4. Red. That is red. 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 This is the introduction of Red Kryptonite or Red Meteorite because I don't know it's Kryptonite yet. I said at the end of the last one, this is a favorite, and it still is, but I had some issues with this. This episode went down for me. It's hard to say. But this went down for me because, I don't know. I came to a realization watching this that there's a plot point in this episode that just doesn't make sense. It's much like the end of the first episode of this season where they threw something in just so they can have a conflict at the end of the episode, and it doesn't work for me. Anyway, the school is giving out class rings, which you get, you get those every year. I didn't get, because they were so expensive, I didn't get a class ring or a yearbook till my senior year, because that's when, I lost my class ring a long time ago. I still have the yearbook somewhere around here, but I lost the class ring a long time ago. I do have that Ric Flair ring from the 2K19, but it's not the same. I had a red gem, because, a lot of people, here they don't get a choice. You get one gem in there. Just you have no choice of it. It's a red one because of what it ends up being. But in my school, we got to choose, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, you get your birthstone." My birthstone is purple, and I'm not gonna go. I wasn't gonna wear it, but I didn't want to have a purple one, so I got a red one. So yeah, and then I lost it a long time ago. I have no idea why I would do it. The thing is, it didn't fit my finger. It was too small, and so my mom said we were gonna resize it, and we never did. So it just sort of it fit on my pinky. That's about it. And yeah, so we get these new rings, which of course Jonathan is against because it's a lot of money. $350. I don't think mine were that expensive. Also, when we find out what it's made of, they way overcharged for those. And like I said, we find out it's made of red meteor rock. And red meteor rock equals to $350 a piece. I think 100 maybe. I think mine, if I remember, really cost 200, so it wasn't as much. But yeah, I don't know. Clark puts it on, and red kryptonite or red meteor rock affects Clark differently. Whereas green meteor rock, they explain it with green meteor rock affects his body, physically, and this affects him emotionally. It lowers his inhibitions, makes him go out of control, basically. He's not fully out of control, but he's, more rebellious, more antagonistic. Not evil, but antagonistic. In the B plot, Lionel has basically moved into the mansion, and he's rearranging everything, which Lex does not like. There's also a C plot that intersects with the A plot, I guess. Maybe that's the B plot, I don't know. There's someone going around asking about this new student, Jesse. And now this whole opening scene, it's very weird, because we get this opening scene with them, with Clark and Chloe and Pete, and then they get the ring, he puts the ring on, and we're introduced to Jesse, who's being brought around by Lana. We also meet Mr. Gibbons, maybe the principal. We have not seen a principal-like authority figure in this school since Quan died toward the end of last season. So he could be. I know we get one that doesn't last long. I don't know, but yeah, and he's one of those teachers or principals. Oh, you can't dress like that. Her belly showing and everything, and those things where it's like you should dress comfortably, but like I understand in schools they're gonna say you can't dress like that. We have dress code. Clark's response, of course, under the influence of the Reg tonight, is, I think she looks hot. Okay. If I was defending her, red media rock or not, I would say she looks fine. But they're trying to demonstrate that he's out of control. He can't control his inhibitions, his language, and that sort of thing. And she's immediately attracted to him, and he's attracted to her, of course. It's very confusing because at one point he tells Lana he has feelings for her, and then he's still hanging around with Jesse. Like, he's going after Lana and Jesse at the same time. Like, we see that Jonathan has a motorcycle now for no other reason other than Clark gets it here and it's used at the end of the season as well. But otherwise, it's not really used for anything. And, yeah. And like I said, there's this guy going around asking about Jesse. He kills her ex-boyfriend that they went to the dance with or something. And he leaves the picture there, but later, when he shows up at Lex's mansion to ask Clark about it, he shows the same picture. Did he have multiple copies of that picture or what? It's confusing, but yeah. And we get Jesse's father, played by Garwin Sanford, who I know from Stargate shows and quite a few other Canadian stuff. And he's underused here, but he's around. He's still all right. I believe it's Garwin Sanford. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But I think it was. Yeah. And, he rebels. He uses his parents' credit cards to buy all the stuff. Satellite dish, video game. He's got a canoe in there for some reason. Or a kayak, whatever that is. A kayak. Is that a kayak in there for some reason? I don't know. They just think, he's a teenager buying stuff, just throw random things. Kayak. Just big red kayak there on the side. I'm just like, why is that there? Playing video games, blasting loud music. He's doing everything a teenager wants to do with unlimited money. You're a teenager. You just want to spend money. You want to have all this stuff, but your parents can afford it. You can't afford it. And so I think, by the way, Clark is supposed to be 16 here, right? Why don't he have a job? You know what I mean? They keep talking about financial troubles, and he doesn't have a job. I know that his parents are farmers or whatever, but Clark, Clark is uninhibited. He freaks out. He takes off on the motorcycle, and he ends up picking up Jesse. This is before school, by the way, because he ends up driving to school on the motorcycle. And, yeah. They saved the big reveal for what is making Clark do this till the end of the episode. But if you have a general idea of Superman lore, you know what it is, especially since you put the ring on and his eyes glow red right when he does it. You have an idea of what it is. And I like the way Smallville portrays it over how they portrayed it on Lois and Clark. On Lois and Clark, they went for the silly factor where they had similar effects, but he was more, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, and he's lazy and stuff, and nah, I'm not going to do, this sort of thing. Behaves more like a child than this Clark does, but, So, everything is going fine. Chloe reveals to Pete that they used red meteor rock to make the rings, and there's going to be a recall on them, which kind of goes south because he could have got his money back, but sometimes. But Clark, even though Clark finds out the truth, he doesn't take it out because he likes it, In that heightened state, he likes it. You know what I mean? And he takes off. And he and Jesse are going to run away. He has Lex's Ferrari. And he borrows it to go on a date with Lana. He goes on a date with Lana. And then he abandons Lana to go with Jesse. Well, Lana takes off on him so he can be with Jesse. It's all very weird if this is supposed to make it so he can tell the truth and get what he wants. He tells Lana the truth, says he has feelings for her, and then takes off with another girl. It doesn't really make much sense, other than we have to have Jesse because of what kind of plot point we're going to force at the end of this. If you took Jesse out of this, you could have a decent episode of them trying to figure out how to get the meteor rock from him, but you needed to fill up some time. So after he goes to the mansion, he talks to Lex and says, hey, you shouldn't let your father step all over you, walk over you, that sort of thing. Then Lex goes to talk to Jonathan Kent. He's not a doctor, he's a farmer. Anyway, he goes to talk to Jonathan, tell him, Pete, they're going to use kryptonite, basically, the green meteor rock. And he tells where Clark is. This is when Clark is in there shooting pool when Lionel shows up. And this is a big moment of why I think that Lionel might be faking it the whole time. Because this comes back later as he's investigating Clark at some point. So, thinking that Lionel is blind. So this investigator guy shows up in the mansion. Apparently he knows that he was there. I don't know. He has the gun. And he grabs it. Gun, he fires 3 shots into his own hand and drops the bullets right in front of Lionel. And Lionel's going, what happened? I heard gunshots. And he's like, don't worry, he missed. And he's just like, I'm going to call the police or something like that. I'm going to call security. One question I have about this, doesn't Lex have cameras in his mansion? Shouldn't he have seen that? I swear he had cameras in there. He has personal security, but no cameras. A little confusing, I think. But, yeah. And then this guy tells him that there's some kind of disc with information. They were in witness protection, but now he's been paid to get these discs and everything. And this is where it's forced into that. Clark now wants the disc for some reason and goes after Jesse and her father, knocks her father out after shoots a gun at him, and stuff like Jesse. But Jonathan and Pete show up, and they use a sledgehammer on the dry skin on the ring and smash it to pieces, which negate the effects of the red meteor rock. Everything is hunky-dory, everything is fine, he apologizes. Oh, I forgot to mention, there was a confrontation after he takes Jesse on a ride to school on the motorcycle. Jonathan shows up and there's a confrontation where Clark pushes him into the truck, hurting him, but he puts a bag of peas on his back and he's fine, I guess. Literally, Martha brings out a bag of peas. That's one of the cliches is either a bag of peas or a raw steak or something, It's funny, I guess, but she brings out a bag of peas as an ice pack. But yeah, the episode ends with basically an apology, and he's going to see Lana and apologizes to her, and we're unsure of where things are going to be, but the song that plays here got me when I started hearing it. It is the song by Oasis, Stop Crying Your Heart Out, from the end of The Butterfly Effect, which came out 2 years after this. Close to 2 years. It came out in 2004, this came out in 2002, this episode. So, yeah, but I was like, whoa. This song was on Smallville. I didn't realize that. I probably forget about it every time I go back to watch this, but yeah. I'm going to give this episode 3.5 Superman logos out of 5. I think that's the correct one to do it. It's maybe even 3.75. Oh, fuck it. I'll just give it 4 Superman logos out of 5. It's fine. It's good until they have to force his plot with Jesse's plot just so they can have that conflict. It doesn't make much sense why Clark would go after him after these discs. It's just amusing. In a normal episode, he would protect her from this guy, but I don't know, it just doesn't make much of any sense to me, but I mean, it's different, I guess, but so what are your thoughts on this episode? Let me know in the comments. So much like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I think I'm done for the day. I'm gonna relax. I gotta finish my dishes, other stuff to watch. Might play a video game. I don't know yet, but I think that's all for the day. For today, I've done one disc. That's reasonable, right? And that's also I only have the first 4 thumbnails done, so I can do more and have more done tomorrow, but if I have a chance. But thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.